Rumble 2019. What did I think of it? I thought it was a really good show. Not amazing, but it was a really good show. Very enjoyable. Very few down points, but there were down points. But overall, thoroughly enjoyed it. My name is Harry Bayley, and this is my review of the Royal Rumble 2019. Opening the show, we have Becky Lynch challenging Asuka for the SmackDown Live Women's Championship. Becky goes for the arm of Asuka to soften her up for the disarm her, but Asuka just kind of kicks her to death. We get a disarmer in the corner. Lynch jumps from the middle rope and just eats a massive knee. Becky gets caught in an armbar and an Asuka lock early on. Asuka hits like a drift away sort of thing on the apron to the outside, which looked nasty. That's probably the most memorable spot of the match. Asuka gets a couple near falls from like just repeatedly kicking her. This was a really physical match. Lots of kicks, lots of strikes. The two just seemed like they wanted to hurt each other, which, I mean, I'm not going to complain. I thought it was a very enjoyable match. Becky hits a Bexploder from the top rope. That gets a really convincing near fall. And eventually Asuka gets like a bridging Asuka lock, I want to say. Just a better Asuka lock in on Lynch. Lynch taps out like instantly. People are complaining about that finish. The fact that she tapped out or the fact that she tapped out instantly. Personally, don't really mind it. Number one, it makes the Asuka lock look strong. Two, it makes this new Asuka lock look invincible. And three, Becky's not really going to complain about this night, is she? Asuka and Becky both look great at the end of the night, so not complaining. Next, The Miz and Shane McMahon challenged the Bar, Sheamus and Cesaro for the SmackDown Live Tag Team Championships. Shane instantly just batters Sheamus. Miz gets tagged in. He then gets battered by the Tag Team Champions because obviously Shane is the greatest wrestler in the world. Sweet Jesus, they're still doing that. Shane gets hot tagged in, goes for a coast to coast on both of the Bar, but Cesaro catches him, hits him with a Cesaro swing. That was a cool spot. Sheamus accidentally bro kicks Cesaro. Then Miz skull crushing finale Sheamus. And then Shane McMahon hits a shooting star press, a very good shooting star press onto Cesaro, and they win the match. New SmackDown Live Tag Team Champions Shane McMahon and The Miz celebrate with Miz's dad in the crowd, which was a cool moment. Obviously, the whole Shane McMahon is the greatest wrestler in the world thing is just a bit annoying. Match was fine. Honestly, it was quite enjoyable. Again, not really many takeaways. This definitely wasn't on the level of the women's match that opened the show, but it was still alright. It was fine. Segment. Sasha Banks challenges Ronda Rousey for the Raw Women's Championship. Ronda is trying to prove that she can wrestle. Batters Banks. But Banks looks great in this match as well. Ronda hit her arm off of like the turnbuckle outside, so Sasha looked like she could actually tap her out. Even at one point using like a bit of her attire that broke off in a Bank statement. That was a really inventive, cool spot. Ultimately though, Ronda hits her second Piper's Pit of the match to win. Probably not as good as Becky versus Asuka, but again, another really enjoyable match. So far, no bad matches. People seem to really love this. I thought it was good, but again, it wasn't Becky Asuka. But yeah, enjoyable match. Rousey retains, and after the match, Sasha does the 4 horsewomen like hand signal, which was really cool. Hope to God we get that match. I'm sure we will, but I hope to God we do. Yeah, really cool. Oh God, this is gonna divide opinion. Now it's the Women's Royal Rumble. I thought this was fucking terrible for a good 70% of it. Lacey Evans and Natalya open the match, and it doesn't start good. It takes ages to get somewhat engaging. Like, it's just a bunch of jobbers coming in, doing some moves. No one's really getting eliminated. It just keeps happening. and happening. Like, Nikki Cross comes in at number 8 and batters everyone, doesn't actually eliminate anyone. Billie Kay hit probably the worst backbreaker in the history of backbreakers. It's not actually important or anything. I just wanted to point that out because it was atrocious. Some Chinese lady who I've never heard of, who's apparently in NXT, but I've never seen her in NXT. She was in the Mae Young Classics, which I will admit I haven't watched. She comes in, and holy shit, she's useless. She botches like fucking everything, bar like kicks. Ember has a decent spot where she gets saved by like her toes lashing onto the bottom rope. That was actually really good. Fucking finally, 13, Charlotte comes in. Oh my god, I was waiting for her to come in and make it somewhat interesting. 14 is Kairi Sane, and the two just chop each other to death. Those two are amazing. Naomi eliminates Mandy Rose to some pop because there was like storyline there. Then does her whole I'm gonna save myself thing that's Kofi's gimmick. But at the end, Mandy pushes her off the fucking stairs and she's out. So they're both out. Candice LeRae enters at 17. That got a nice pop, but she does absolutely nothing in the match. There was some fucking shitty, bullshit, unfunny comedy spot with Alicia Fox and Maria Kanellis. It was just atrocious. Like, it wasn't in any way funny. It was just bad. Kacy Catanzaro, who's apparently like the first woman to complete American Ninja Warrior, comes in. She actually has some nice moments. She has her own Kofi spot where she does like a handstand, but hers actually looks really impressive. Riot Squad come down and just attack people and help Ruby get eliminations, while Zelina Vega just kind of hides under the ring. Pay attention to that. 23 is Io Shirai, again, another great wrestler. Comes down, batters the Riot Squad. Number 24, Rhea Ripley. She eliminates Kacy Catanzaro. And after Hornswoggle appears from under the ring, who then chases Zelina Vega from under the ring back into the ring. I'm pretty sure I worded that awfully. Rhea Ripley eliminates Zelina Vega anyway. Hornswoggle, good to see you. 26 is Alexa Bliss. She comes out to a huge pop. Well deserved. Lana comes out at 28. Limping. Nia Jax enters at 29, I believe. Batters Lana. 30s Carmella. Don't worry about it. Then Becky Lynch comes down. Intimidates Finlay, which is amazing because 1, they're both Irish. 2, she intimidated Finlay, which is amazing. Convinces Finlay to let her take Lana's spot, and I would say from like the last 7 women in the match, it gets really entertaining, as well as like the other entertaining spots early on. But sweet Jesus, this was quite difficult to sit through at points. Final 4 of Bayley, Charlotte, Becky, and Nia. Bayley goes out, Becky eliminates Nia, then eliminates Charlotte, and wins the match. Really cool moment. She looks amazing. Can't wait to see her probably main event WrestleMania. Great ending to an otherwise not so great Royal Rumble. Oh my god, the comments are going to kill me. AJ Styles challenges the new Daniel Bryan for the WWE Championship. AJ does his like flip over reverse inverted DDT, whatever you want to call it, using the guardrail on the outside. That was cool. Bryan counters a 450 with the knees up and gets a label lock in. AJ gets out and gets a calf crusher in. Styles is too hurt to do his springboard finisher, the phenomenal forearm, and Bryan just boots him for a double down. Then Eric Rowan comes out. Vegan Eric Rowan may be the greatest gimmick in wrestling history. I'm predicting it already. Ref bump, Styles clash. But Rowan comes in, chokeslam Styles, and Bryan retains. The reason I went through this fast is because they've had better matches than this on SmackDown. This was not great at all. Easily the worst match on the card. Ending wasn't great. I'm interested to see where it goes, obviously. Daniel Bryan retains. Yeah, enough said. Finn Balor challenges WWE Universal Champion Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship. Finn starts off hot, but Lesnar fights back, tossing him around the ring and the outside. Brock is sent into the corner of the announce table, and that really injures him. Brock hits a couple of suplexes, but after a while, he's too hurt to do it. I loved this match, honestly. It was really short. It was only like 8 minutes, but it was 8 minutes of just greatness. Balor counters an F5 into a DDT and batters Lesnar's injured midsection. Then it's a hat-trick of topes to the outside. Balor hits a coup de grace. 1, 2, kick out, Kimura lock, Balor taps. In like that fast, like that's how fast it was. It was like coup de grace, 1, 2, kick out, Kimura, boom. Balor lasted a while on the Kimura, but not very long. Finish came out of nowhere, but it was really surprising. Really loved this match. Really high energy. Finn looks amazing. Brock looks great, but vulnerable, which is what we want. The Kimura lock is back. It looks great. Brock retains. Brock then attacks Finn after the match to a chorus of boos. Great stuff. Now for the men's Royal Rumble. Elias is number 1 and Jeff Jarrett is number 2. Yes, Jeff Jarrett is number 2. Fucking greatness. The two T's like a duet. But Elias attacks Double J, smashes him with the guitar and tosses him out. Angle returns at 4. Gargano comes out at 6. Joe at 8. He lasts long but does nothing. Rollins comes in at 10. We get a great comedy spot where Titus makes sure he doesn't fall on the way to the ring. Then gets eliminated by Kurt Hawkins. Great stuff. Mustafa Ali comes out at 13. He is a strong showing, getting 2 eliminations. Nakamura and Samoa Joe. Good lad, Mustafa. Pete Dunne and Aleister Black also come out as well, and they also have decent showings. Ziggler returns to eliminate McIntyre, which basically makes it really obvious who's going to win the match, but I'm not going to complain. Nia Jax is number 30 after battering R-Truth. She takes a super kick, a 619, and RKO, gets eliminated. This spot was amazing. I loved this spot. I'm going to watch it many, many times. It was brilliant. Final 4 of Andrade, Ziggler, Braun Strowman, and Rollins. Andrade gets tossed out first out of the 4. He looks pretty good in this match. Then Ziggler gets tossed out. He wasn't in it for that long, but again, looks really good. And after Rollins curb stomps Strowman on the apron, Rollins is the winner of the Rumble. Now, the one thing I will say that detracts from Rollins' win is that he eliminated Bobby Lashley in stupidly quick succession. It actually kind of annoyed me. And then Bobby just put him through the announce table on the outside. And it was obvious, it was just like a rehash of what they did with Roman a couple of years ago, where he just kind of lay there for the rest of the match until coming in at the end and winning. It just doesn't really make guys look strong. But it's Rollins. No one's ever going to say that Rollins isn't a workhorse. So, yeah, very happy Rollins won, obviously. One of the better Royal Rumbles I've seen, and I've seen all of them. Obviously, definitely not like top 5 or anything, but it was a good Rumble. It was a really good Rumble, and a really good Rumble is normally a really great match to watch. So to summarise, there were no bad matches. AJ Bryan was disappointing. The Bar versus Miz and Shane wasn't great. The 2 women's matches were either good or really good. The 2 Rumbles were decent, if you like average it, because the women's was fucking awful at points, but really good at some points. And then the men's was just good pretty much all the way throughout. It wasn't boring at any points at all. However, my nominations for marquee matches, there are 2 of them, and I think this might divide opinion. Finn Balor versus Brock Lesnar, and the men's Royal Rumble match. My final grade for the Royal Rumble 2019 is a B+.